Hi class, Mrs. Calvi here. Quick review on finding our least common multiple, or better known as our LCM. So LCM, I want to find the LCM of 10, 12, and 15. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is there are two methods. We can list them out by just the multiples. So that's one method we can do. So I would list my numbers 10, 12, and 15. And it's basically like knowing your multiplication facts. Here, counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. So that's the same thing as saying 10 times 1 is 10, 10 times 2 is 20, 10 times 3 is 30, etc. Same thing we would do for 12. 12, counting by 12s. 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, and so on and so forth. And you would keep going with these until you come up with the least common multiple, the number that they have in common that is the smallest or the least. Okay, so that is one method. Now, another method is to use your prime factorization to find your LCM. So in order to do the prime factorization, you remember we need to do what we call the factor tree. So we would do the factor tree for 10, 12, and 15. Remember, you can only use prime numbers for prime factorization. So what times what gives me 10? 2 times 5. 2 is prime, so I can't go any further. I circle it. 5 is prime. I can't go any further, so I circle it. So now I'm doing 12. I can do 2 times 6. I can do 3 times 4. Doesn't matter. Your end result will be the same. So I'm going to use 2 and 6. I can't go further with 2, so I'm circling it, so I know I'm done with it. I can go further with 6 because 2 times 3 gives me 6, and those are both prime, so I'm done with those, and I circle it. 15, 3, and 5. All right, those are both prime, so I'm done there. Okay, so if you want to find the LCM using prime factorization, first do your factor trees for all numbers involved. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to line them up. So I'm just going to erase. So I have space, and I'm going to show you what to do. So you know this would be 2 times 5. This one would be 2 times 2 times 3. And for prime factorization, in order to find the LCM, you don't want to use exponent form. You want to keep it. So here I would not do 2 squared times 3. I want to keep it as 2 times 2 times 3 to make it easier for my LCM. And then my last one here was 3 times 5. All right, so I'm just going to erase and rewrite. All right, so my prime factorization for 10, we ended up coming up with 2 times 5. My prime factorization that I had for 12 was 2 times 2 times 3. And my prime factorization that I ended up having for 15 was 3 times 5. Okay, so this is what we're going to do to find the LCM. We're going to look to see if any of the numbers have another number that in common. So for example, 10 has a 2 and 12 has a factor of 2 here. So I'm going to circle those. Okay. Now I cannot circle these two because they both are associated with the 12. I cannot do that. They have to be associated with more than one number. So now, do I have anything else in common? Well, I have these 3s. And then I also have these 5s here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I don't have anything else that I can circle, but I do have this 2 left here. That's not circled. Okay. I have that one left. So what I'm going to do to find my LCM, I'm going to take one number from every circle. So here I have 2 2s circled, but I'm only taking 1 from that circle. Okay. My 3s, I have 2 3s circled, but I'm only taking 1 from that circle. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be multiplying these. All right. Then from my 5s, I have 2 5s circled, but I'm only taking 1 from the circle. All right. I also need to take anything else that was left over. And the one number that was left over here was the 2. So I have to take that also. I'm going to put that in front because I like doing least to greatest. So now if I actually do this multiplication, 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, that's going to give me my LCM. That'll give me my least common multiple. Okay? So if I do that, I get 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And 12 times 5 is 60. So the LCM between 10, 12, and 15 is 60. Now, as I said, you could have done it just by listing out all of your multiples and the smallest one they have in common. You could do it that way. Or you can use your prime factorization to find out what your LCM is. All right, that is all for now, and I will talk to you guys soon.